A CHRO called me last month. They were a SaaS company, a global capability execution intelligence platform. They've been running an open CTO mandate for 11 weeks. 3 shortlists, 0 offers accepted. The compensation was benchmarked at about 1.2 to 1.5 CR. The market for a CTO with genuine platform architect depth and the ability to manage global engineering stakeholder was about 1.8 to 2.2. They knew this by week 3. They didn't revise it until week 9. The 2 months in between cost them 2 of the 3 best candidates they've spoken to. Very uncomfortable conversation with the global board about why the India technology leadership seat was still empty. 11 weeks is not a search problem. It is a comm problem that waited too long to be solved. A CTO mandate doesn't open in vacuum. It opens at the moment that GCC is ready to move from execution to ownership. The transition is time sensitive. The longer the CTO seat is empty, the longer the capability update waits. Most GCC compensation benchmarking at this level are built from salary surveys that are about 12 to 18 months old. By the time they reach the hiring decision, in a market where senior technology leadership compensation like an architect or an engineering head or a CTO typically moves from about 20 to 25% in the last 18 months. A benchmarking from the last year is not a benchmark. It is a starting point for the negotiation you're about to lose. Benchmarking before you open the search is not a caution. It's the difference between a 31-day mandate and 11-week one. So how do we do this? Let me define that with 5 steps. Step 1. Identify the precise profile, not just a job title. CTO in a 500 people IT GCC or a CTO in a 50 people pharma GCC are 2 different talent markets. Before you touch on any salary data, write down the sector, the GCC size, the seniority, the team size, and the reporting line. The VP who reports to the global CTO has a different market value, whereas the person who's reporting to the local ops. Step 2. Find 3 live market data sources, not 1. First, a placement firm that has closed this profile in the last 90 days in your city. What did the last 3 candidates in the profile actually accept? What did the candidate who declined accept instead? This is your live market rate. Second, your own CRM or HR system internally. What did the last person in the role accept when you hired them? When was that? Adjust with the market movement since then. Third, a current employee reference. Find a peer for the role you're hiring. Somebody already in the GCC at a comparable level. What are they earning? This is your internal anchor. If your external hire earns significantly more than your internal peer, then you have a retention problem on day 1. Step 3. Separate base from total compensation. The number that matters, not the base salary. This is the total compensation the candidate will weigh against your current package and their own offers. Build a full picture before you go to the market. Base, variable percentage, ESOP structure, is there a joining bonus, work from home, notice period support, all these matters. Missing one component is how you get the offer stage and you lose it, right? Step 4. Set your floor and your ceiling before anyone sends you a CV. Your floor is a minimum you pay for the right candidate. The ceiling is a maximum. Step 5. Revisit the benchmark at week 4. Markets move. The benchmark set in Feb may be wrong by the time it's June. If your search is running long, first question is not, are we looking at the right candidate? It is, has the market moved since the time we started to search? Schedule a benchmark check at week 4. If you have spoken to more than 10 qualified candidates and lost more than 3 or 4 offers at the last stage, the comp is off. Adjust before week 6. Adjusting at week 10 costs you the search. Using the salary survey your HQ sent, global surveys aggregate across countries and industries in ways that makes nearly useless for any specific GCC role, especially in Bangalore. Use them as a sanity check, not as a benchmark. Setting the ceiling at budget and not at market. Your finance team sets a budget. The market does not care about your budget. If the budget is below the market, the conversation to have is with your finance team, not with the candidate who will eventually say no. Benchmarking once is not revisiting. The market moved. The benchmark is now history. Check it at week 4. Let me share an example in terms of what went really well. So, head of talent acquisition at a mid-market retail GCC called a few quarters ago with a senior director engineering mandate. Before we started the search, we spent 45 minutes on a briefing call going through the exact 5 steps above. The market was set about 1.5 to 2 CR, 25 lakhs above what they had initially proposed. The first offer went out about 22 days. It was accepted within 48 hours. The candidate is still on the roll. Good benchmarking looks like a search that doesn't require a postmortem. If you're opening a mandate in the next 30 days and want a market benchmark before you start a conversation. We'll tell you what this profile is actually paying right now.